Good morning students. Today in this video lecture, we will discuss the concept of time series analysis. Time series is defined as a set of statistical observations arranged in a chronological order. It means a time series consists of the statistical data which are collected, recorded and observed over successive increments. The time series analysis is of great significance to every profession. The following are the utility of time series analysis. Point number one, it helps in understanding past behavior. That is, by observing data over a period of time, one can easily understand what changes have taken place in the past. Point number second, it helps in planning future operations. Plans for the future cannot be made without forecasting events and relationships they will have. Point number third, it helps in evaluating the current accomplishments. The actual performance can be compared with the expected performance and the cause of variation can be analyzed. Point number fourth, it facilitates comparison. Different time series are often compared and important conclusions are drawn therefrom. Components of time series. There are four components of time series, that is secular trends, seasonal variations, cyclical variations and irregular variations. And we'll discuss them in the step order sequence one by one. First, secular trend. Secular trend movements are attributed to factors such as population change, technological progress and large-scale shifts in consumer taste. The secular trend can be divided into two parts, that is the linear trend and the non-linear trend. In case of non-linear trend, it is noteworthy to understand that the rise or fall may not continue in the same direction throughout the time period. The study of trends is extremely useful because it helps us to describe the historical patterns and permits us to project past patterns or trend into the future. Seasonal variations. Seasonal variations are those periodic movements in business activity which occur regularly every year and have their origin in the nature of the year itself. Since these variations repeat during a period of 12 months, they can be predicted with higher accuracy. Cyclical fluctuations. Cyclical variations or cyclical fluctuations are recurrent up and down movements around secular trend levels which have a duration anywhere from 2 to 15 years. The term cycle refers to the recurrent variations in the time series that usually last longer than a year, and it can be as many as 15 to 20 years. These variations are regular neither in amplitude nor in length. And lastly, irregular variations. Irregular variations are also called erratic, accidental. Why? Because irregular variations in a time series is composed of non-recurring forces which are not described as or attributed to trend, that is cyclical or seasonal factors. Because irregular variations are caused by such isolated special occurrences such as floods, earthquakes, strikes and wars. Sudden change in demand or very rapid technological progress may also be included under this category. We'll now discuss the method of least square, which is used to fit the trend line and is very helpful in solving the numericals for time series analysis. This method is mostly used in practice. It's a mathematical model, and with its help, a trend line is fitted to the data in such a manner that the following conditions are satisfied. Condition number one, the sum of deviations of actual values of y and their computed values of y is always 0. That is, students, please note and remember that summation of y minus yc should always be equal to 0. And the condition number second, the sum of squares of the deviation of actual and compounded values is least from the line, and hence this is known as the best fit line. This method of least squares may be used either to fit a straight line or a parabolic trend. Now we'll frame the journal representation for the least square method. Students, on your screen you have an equation written, that is y is equal to a plus bx. This is the equation of a straight line trend. In the first step, what we'll do for equation number 1, we'll summate the journal representation on both sides. That is, summation y is equal to n times a plus b times summation x. For equation number 2, what we will do, equation number 1 is multiplied on both sides with summation x. That means the first equation, when it is multiplied on both sides by summation x, it becomes summation xy on the left hand side and a times summation x on the right hand side plus b times summation x square on the right hand side. Students, kindly note that for the simpler calculations, when the midpoint in the time is taken as origin, because in that case the negative values in the first half of the series balance out the positive value in the second half of the series. Thus, summation x becomes 0. When summation x becomes 0, the first equation gets simplified into summation y is equal to n times summation a, and the second equation gets simplified into summation xy is equal to b summation x square. Students, kindly note that if you can solve equation 3 and equation 4, then you will be able to derive the value for a and the value for b respectively. The value of a will be summation y divided by n, and the value for b will be summation xy divided by summation x square. Now we will use the information and knowledge which we have gathered up till now to solve the numerical which is on your screen, which relates to the tourist arrival during the given period, that is from 2005 to 2011 in India, and you are required to fit a trend line by the method of least square and estimate the number of tourists for the year 2015. What we'll do now is, we have the data which is given in the numerical and we'll use that data and we'll solve the numerical further. We were given in the numerical the data for years from 2005 to 2011 and the tourist arrivals. Now as you can see that 2008 is the mid value, and we'll take 2008 as origins, and now we'll calculate deviations from 2008. What it means, 2005 minus 2008 is minus 3. Likewise, 2006 minus 2008 is minus 2. 2007 minus 2008 is minus 1. 2008 minus 2008 is 0. Further, 2009 minus 2008 is 1. 2010 minus 2009, 2010 minus 2008 is 2. 2011 minus 2008 is 3. Further, we'll take the product for x and y, that is 18 multiplied by minus 3 is minus 54, 20 multiplied by minus 2 is minus 40, 23 multiplied by minus 1 is minus 23, 25 multiplied by 0 is 0, 24 multiplied by 1 is 24, 28 multiplied by 2 is 56, and lastly 30 multiplied by 3 is 90. Now we'll take the square of values on individual item wise basis for the series x, that is the square of minus 3 is 9, the square of minus 2 is 4, the square of minus 1 is 1, the square of 0 is 0, the square of 1 is 1, the square of 2 is 4, and the square of 3 is 9. Students, I hope you must be solving the numerical alongside to gain the understanding and the proficiency for solving this numerical. Now what we'll do, we'll take the summation values. The addition of all the values as given for y series will account to 168. And when we take the summation of the values for x, that is the addition of minus 3, minus 2 and minus 1 will lead to a value which is equivalent to minus 6. And the addition of 1, 2 and 3 will lead to a value which is equal to plus 6. When minus 6 and plus 6 they are added together, then summation x will become 0. Likewise, the summation of product of x and y on individual item wise basis is equivalent to 53, and the summation of square of individual items of X series is equivalent to 28. Now we'll use the data which we have achieved up till now, that is the data which is given on the right hand side of your screen. We'll use this data and we'll put the data in the generic formulas which we have learned previously to deduce the value for A and the value for B. Since the summation of X is 0, which we have learned recently, we'll substitute these values over here, and likewise we'll substitute these values over here. So the value of summation Y is 168. The value of N, the number of items are 7. When 168 is divided by 7, 168 is divided by 7, then A becomes equivalent to 24. And for B, the summation xy value is equivalent to 53 and the summation x square value is equivalent to 28. When 53 is divided by 28, the value becomes equivalent to 1.89. So if we can put the value for A and the value for B in the journal equation of the straight line trend, we'll be able to get a value substituted in the equation of straight line trend. Then we'll get the trend line equation as y is equal to 24 plus 1.89x. Moving further, in the second part, what was asked in the question? You were required to calculate the trend estimated value for the year 2015. Students, kindly note that recently we calculated and we deduced the trend equation as y is equal to 24 plus 1.89x. If 2015 is to be used to calculate the trend value or the estimated value, then the value for x will be 2015 minus 2008, that is equivalent to 7. So we'll substitute the value of 7 into this equation. When we substitute the value of x equal to 7, we get the equation of this kind. So we'll solve it further. 1.89 multiplied by 7 is equivalent to 13.23 and the addition of 24 and 13.23 is equivalent to 37.23 million tourists. So we calculated both the parts which were asked in the numerical. The first part was related to deducing the straight line trend equation and the second part related to estimating the value for the trend for year 2015. Students, I hope you must have revised the concept of time series analysis and the method of least square using the journal representation and through a numerical. Thank you and have a nice day.